Welcome everyone to the 209 Journey podcast. I'm your host Luis, and in today's episode, season 3, episode 3, I'm going to be interviewing Julienne Bean, also known as Puka. She owns a ceramic studio in Stockton, California, and also does handcrafted ceramics, hand sculptured jewelry, and botanical skin serums as well. So we'll be talking about the business, how it got started, her passion for ceramics, and then, of course, being that this is also video based, check it out on YouTube and Facebook, by the way, if you haven't yet, because she'll be sharing some of the stuff that she's created as well. So, again, one more reason to actually also watch the video version is you get to see things on camera as well. But if you are listening to me on my podcast apps, feel free to follow the podcast or subscribe, whatever the button says on your screen there. Go ahead and click it so that way you find out when the next episode gets posted. Or if you're watching me on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment as well if you'd like. Also on Facebook, you can like it, comment, all that as well. Also, if you are not following the podcast on social media yet, you can find it at the 209 Journey on Facebook and Instagram. I'm trying to grow the Instagram page. I know in the past I set a goal of 1,000 followers. I think I might be able to reach it. I mean, we're like halfway or a little bit past halfway in the year, but I'm confident. I think that I'll be able to get that 1,000 follower mark. So if you can help me out with that, that would be great. I am going to be sharing more stuff on Instagram. I am more active on there, sharing stories and all that. So if you want to know what's going on around the 209, that is the page to follow. So you check the stories and find out about all the different things going on, especially for my guests. If I've had a guest on, you'll see me repost a lot of their stuff as well. So again, follow the page at the 209 Journey on Instagram. But without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my guest tonight. Her name is Julienne Pin, but she is known as Puka. She owns Puka Tutis Pottery in Stockton, California, and she also does handcrafted ceramics, hand sculptured jewelry, and botanical skin serums here. So welcome to a 209 Journey, Puka. How's it going?
Thank you for
I'm
having
good.
me.
Yeah, thank you for being on. I'm really excited to hear more about, how your passion for ceramics came about and then how the business started, and for you to talk about the classes that you offer, because it's really awesome that you offer classes, that you have your own studio, and that people can, take them conveniently since they're offered at convenient times as well.
Yeah, I opened up my own personal studio because there was such a necessity here in the Central Valley for the ceramic arts. So yeah, I opened up my own personal studio and it's been going pretty well so far. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, no, that's really awesome. I mean, I always like, I literally last episode I mentioned it as well, right? But like bringing in different things, whether it's food or like other businesses that are like really prevalent in the Bay Area or in LA to the Central Valley is such a
Right.
great thing to do. So that way, we could keep people here in the area,
Exactly.
and people who move from the Bay Area, just like you'll let us know here shortly,
Yeah.
can
There's
also feel like, hey, I'm at home.
there's a lot of diversity here, and there's definitely a need for the arts because it's a great way to express yourself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, yeah, especially in the art space. And I know I interviewed Elazar. We were just talking about it before we recorded, right, with Hatch Workshop and what's
Yep.
going on there in Stockton. So
They're doing great
it's
things.
cool.
Yeah.
It's nice to see, especially with Stockton being the biggest city here in the 209, to see them leading the way, and see other places also like trying to
Yeah.
have their own art community here, which I'll be interviewing in like future episodes more people in the art space, and it's exciting to see all the different things going on.
Right.
Um, a lot more than when like I was growing up for sure, because we didn't really
Oh,
have as much. But it's great. It's where we're encouraging more people to be in the art community here in the area. And I'll leave too far. Stay here.
yeah.
Leave your artwork here. Do your art here. um, well, I want to go ahead and ask you a little bit more about your dad. You told me he's from Peru. He was born, and his story coming here and all that. Can you just tell the audience just a little bit more about what
My dad was born and raised in Lima, Peru, and he came over here in his early 30s or late 20s, I'm not sure. But he basically came over here. He knew a little bit of English, but he kind of had to learn it along the way. And yeah, he started a family, and I was born in Palo Alto, California. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about that, but
Well, I'm sure living in the Bay Area because you're one of many, right? That like was born in the Bay and then you moved to the 209 or just
right.
in general to the Central Valley. Um, just tell me more about what that was like because I know it's a lot
Yeah,
different. Coming from the Bay Area, it's like you have more things, and again, like I
definitely.
said, we're getting more things here, thankfully.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you 8 years ago to move to Stockton, and how has it been like for you ever since?
Yeah, so I was born in Palo Alto and then I was raised in Pleasanton, California. And for those of you who don't know, Pleasanton is a very like privileged neighborhood, predominantly white. And so when I was growing up going to school there, I didn't really see many Hispanic people. So I was like one of maybe 10 Hispanic people at my school. So I couldn't really connect much with my peers. But I ended up moving here to Stockton about 8 years ago, and I felt very welcomed because I saw people who looked like me and people who spoke Spanish, and there's so much diversity. There's a lot of artists, and yeah, so far it's been going great, very affordable, and yeah, I really like it here.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot more affordable for sure than in
Yeah,
the Bay
I know.
Area and all that. And that's why it's great again to like see things that people would see over there. So it's like you stay here,
Yep.
and I said it in the past podcast, but you spend your money locally, and it's like a domino effect, right? Because then you're spending your money in
Yeah,
different places, right? You don't have to go to the Bay Area to
definitely.
do
So many
ceramics,
small businesses.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great. I feel like local business supports local business because people stay, they go to your classes, and then they might go to a restaurant here locally instead of going to
Exactly.
the Bay and spending a lot more at their restaurants, which
Right.
I just went recently, and it's like night and day what
Yeah.
you're paying there for food. So
Yeah.
much better. But I want to know a little bit more about like where your passion for ceramics came from, and just in general for the crafts. Like, just tell me like where that get started.
So I started off being interested in clay since I was around 5 years old, and I started off working with polymer clay, which is more of a synthetic clay made for jewelry rather than functional wear. I started off making little sculptures of landscapes and forest animals. And then when I turned 11, when I went to middle school, there was this ceramics club every Wednesday. And so I signed up for that, and I quickly like fell in love with it. And I was, very good at it from the start. So I just like, this was amazing because usually things are really hard to, get into. But yeah, so I kept with it. I had a couple classes in high school and I took one class in college. I like to say I'm self taught because the instructors were very hands off. But yes, I fell in love with it. And I actually ended up dropping out of college because I wanted to pursue it. And my mentor actually, he was the assistant in the college classroom. He gifted me a ceramic kiln. And so that was like the main investment that potters need to, start their journey. So I just, I kind of just went at it and, took the risk. And yeah, so I opened up my own studio and started making my pottery and selling it at markets and online. I worked really hard on my social media and try to, make a big presence there. But yeah, I continued, working with porcelain and redstone clay. And I actually recently found out that there's an actual genuine reason why I'm very connected with the clay. I found out that my great grandmother actually sold miniature flower bouquets that she sculpted in Mexico, and she would sculpt these out of a dough that she made on her own with bread and Elmer's glue, and then she would paint them. And so yeah, it's definitely in my blood.
Yeah, it's well, you know what? I've heard things like that before. Yeah, where
Yeah.
like it's a genetic thing, right? It's like you look at your ancestry and they did creative things. So that's really awesome that she she did
Yeah,
that, and you're carrying on that legacy, right, without not realizing it. It's funny how
yeah.
that works.
But yeah, like you said, I my dad is from Peru, and then my mom is Mexican and Salvadorian. So I have like all Central America. Yeah,
Oh yeah, wow, that's cool.
yeah,
Oh, that's really
a
awesome. Uh,
lot.
well, you said initially you were like selling at like different places too, right? Doing like pop-ups and all that. Tell
Yeah.
us more about like what that the first pop-up or like the first time that you were selling what you had made. Where was it, and like what was it like to like just be selling things that you made for like the first time?
Yeah, so when I first started my business, I started off with polymer clay because that was, my strongest suit, and I've been doing it since I was 4 or 5 years old. And I went to Arts in the Plaza here in Stockton. It's near Tat Me Up Studio. So there's a lot of graffiti artists, calligraphy artists, mural artists, and so I brought my booth over there, and I quickly was like, I love this scene. I love to share my art with my community, and I quickly transitioned from polymer clay to you know my ceramic and pottery. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No, yeah, especially being surrounded with like so many different artists and being there, I think it just it inspires you more, right? I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, just
Yeah.
to be. I mean, just me being there at like Flavor Fest too. I mean, I got into like drawing again, and it's just you're just seeing
Yeah.
everyone do their own
Recently,
thing, and so yeah.
And recently, there's been a lot of opportunities for artists in the Central Valley to actually profit from their art. Recently, the city of Stockton offered a grant for anybody who's interested in, holding classes or workshops for the community. And I recently was actually accepted for a little small grant to offer more affordable pottery classes. So yeah, that is, something good that we're doing. Yeah.
Oh, that yeah, for sure. Especially yeah, with cities being able to like support that, and I'm sure. I mean, they're noticing right that there's more
Yeah.
movement going on in the art community, and I hope that more places around the 209 catch on to that and do the same, right? Just so we can help
It's
grow and get
nice.
more of that.
Definitely. It's nice to see that people are starting to respect artists more. And even in Lodi, I recently went to the Lodi Art Hop. And that is a market that not only you can, vend at, but they actually pay you to be there. So that is a really big plus. Yeah.
Oh wow! So like they pay you to be there, and you also
Yeah.
sell. Then like it's kind of like
So you get,
it goes.
all the goodness. You got all the goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. Why I feel like they should all do that,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
Because it helps you out, right? Because it's like I'm sure like you might go through some pop-ups or maybe like something you might not make as much, right? But for them
Exactly.
to like help
For
you out
now.
with that, it's like
Yeah.
okay, like it helps you out a little bit at least, right? In
Yeah.
those circumstances where you have to go back to the drawing board or figure out like what else should I do or offer more, right? And all that.
Yeah.
So what are some of the places that like you've had pop-ups at? Like name a few other places like or like events that happen throughout.
So I actually really like the Ripon Farmers Market. It's every Thursday in Ripon. There's so many vendors. It's more of like a farmers market, but there's also a lot of artists there, and they have live mural painting every time. Depends on what artist they host, but sometimes we see mural painting. We see some. I myself have done live pottery throwing. We've seen some ink staining, but they always have a live musician there as well, and plenty of good food. So I really like the Rippons Farmers Market. Yeah, and a very affordable boot space as well. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I'll have to check it out. It's like right next door.
it's
What
super
this?
fun.
Yeah, that's. I'm really glad that like they have so much like live situations going on, right? With the music and
Yeah,
like
and if
with
you
the
do
arts and
live art, you get a free space too. So yeah.
oh, even better, right? It's like, I mean, it's already a good idea to do it, right? Because you're like showcasing yourself and all
Right.
that. But wow, it's fun
Yeah,
to, yeah.
I know it's definitely catching on. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good idea on their part as well, right? Because it's like you encourage more people to like come down to Ripon and like want to have a booth right there.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're offering that
And then
as
like
well.
we were speaking about earlier, the Flavor Fest is also a good one. Also, just to go as a customer, I really like that event, but it is once a year. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh, they should do it twice a year, and
yeah.
twice a year maybe like not as much when like it's the summer months because it's about to be in the hundreds this
Oh
weekend.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how that would be like. But so you get your business started, and now you also offer classes, and you have your home studio,
Right.
which is where you're at right now in your background there. Just how did that get started? How did the classes get started? And then how did you start your studio and decide to do it there at your house?
So I kind of just like cleared out this garage. I live with my father-in-law. Me and my partner take care of him. And so we kind of like decided to convert the garage into my personal studio. And as I kept going to markets and selling my wares, people kept asking me, where can I do pottery? Where can I do pottery? And I noticed that there is a necessity for wheel throwing classes because there's plenty of hand building classes here in Stockton, but people are interested in specifically wheel throwing. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I can just, spread my space out a little bit more. So I bought 4 wheels and, I set them up and yeah, I opened my classes in February of this year. And immediately a bunch of students signed up. And now I have a bunch of students on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And my class capacity is 6. But yeah, everybody's doing great. And so we're throwing our pieces, we're trimming our pieces, and we're glazing them. But yeah, I opened up my own studio, so it's a little bit funny, trying to separate my work from the student work. It's a little difficult, but I love sharing my space. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. It's like, oh, you gotta find a corner like a
Yeah,
instead of
I'm now.
having.
I'm kind of. This is my corner here where we are. Yeah,
That's your space back there where you have
exactly.
all
Yeah,
different things there too. Well, for the people who are watching on video right now too, you want to share some of your work now since we
yeah.
just
So
talked
I
about that?
have a few pieces here. They're not fully fired, but this one I'm very proud of. I still have to glaze it, but this is a traditional stirrup vessel, which is paying homage to my ancestors, the Moche tribe in Peru. So stirrup vessels are basically vessels. Oh, I'm sorry. This is kind of a play on stirrup vessel. It has 2 spouts. Usually the stirrup vessel has 1 spout. But I decided to connect it with a serpent because the serpent is like a really big deity in the Moche culture and a lot of different cultures. But yeah, I used this here. You see a lot of crackling. I used sodium silicate and a white underglaze, and then I pushed it out from the inside. So this, what you're seeing, is basically stretch marks. But yeah, I'm very proud of this one. I still have to glaze that, but I do a lot of serpent um, themed work. Yeah, and this one I tried to have a little spiral because in Peru, if you notice on my shirt, we have the spiral here. It's kind of a motif for Pachamama, which is Mother Earth. So I try to incorporate a lot of spirals in my work too. And then lastly here, this one I recently made. I call it the Alma de los Apus, which means soul of the mountains. It means specifically in the Andes. But if you turn it around, you'll see these mountains with a lot of color. And this is inspired by Vinicunca, which is the Rainbow Mountains in Peru. So if you ever travel over there, there's these beautiful rainbow mountains with different colored sand. And yeah, it's incredible. I still have yet to visit that location, but that's my next trip for sure.
Now, have you been to like Mexico, Peru, El Salvador? Have you like
I
been?
Every year, me and my family would visit Peru because my family lives there. I still have yet to visit Mexico, but that's another thing on my list. Yeah, I have not much connection with my Mexican family, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you would love going to like Mexico City. I was just there actually just
No way.
recently, and
Who's
yeah,
that?
It was really awesome. I think there's a
Nice.
lot of like things you could do and like learn if you go to the Templo Mayor, which is right in El Zócalo. There's a lot of like ancient history there, and I think
Yeah,
you
I
just
love
love to see all
learning
the
that. Yeah.
or the pyramids in Teotihuacan as well. That's like about an hour away as well, and I went there too, and it's
Nice. Yeah,
awesome.
that's a
Yeah,
must see. Yeah.
yeah, you'll get a lot of inspiration maybe coming back too, and
Exactly. There's a lot of serpent deities in Mexican culture as well. Yeah.
oh yeah, they're big with the serpents there
Yeah.
and the pyramids and the
Yeah.
different things that they would do there, all the different crafts too. I don't have it right here with me. I probably should have like brought it too, but I actually ended up buying one of the crafts there that they made with the serpent, like a big serpent head.
You'll have to show
Um,
me sometime. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like I don't have it here handy, but yeah, but it's really awesome too. I think it would give you a lot of inspiration too. I mean, I'm already just getting inspired seeing the
Yeah.
seeing the
Right.
work and thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot you
Yeah.
could do with
It's
that.
nice to connect with our ancestors. Yeah. Make them proud. Yeah.
But yeah, because like you said, right, it's all in our ancestry, and I think, I mean, with all of us being Hispanic, you trace it back to those years, right, and
Definitely.
all that, and you just see all the kind of works that they would do back then, and it's like,
Yeah.
how did
Yeah.
they do that?
It's funny yeah. How did they do that? They did it with their hardworking hands, you know? Yeah.
Especially the pyramids, right? I think that's like the most amazing thing is
Yeah.
like how did they build those, right? Both like them, the
Oh,
Egyptians as well, but it's like
yeah. A lot of hard work. Yeah.
yeah, and similarities between both too, which is always
Right.
like
I know.
mind-boggling. Like how
Everything's connected. Yeah.
yeah, like the whole world. Yeah, it's crazy, all the different things there. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. I mean, things that you could make too. So for people who want to register for the classes, you said class sizes are up to 6. And what are usual like the typical times, or like do you vary
So
times or?
times vary, but I offer classes at I think 2, 4, and 6 for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can sign up on my website, www.pukatutis.com. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email, puka.tutis or at gmail.com. And you can also send me a message on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's really cool. Especially Instagram. That's a place to be for sure. Especially when you're sharing, pictures of your work or
Yeah,
just
all the content.
it's just
Yeah.
that's where it's at. And speaking of things that you've shared on there too, I want to know a little. I mean, I know a little bit more about it, but I think
Right.
this is a really awesome story. I mean, such a big accomplishment that you just had just recently with a amazing order by the San Joaquin Gala dinner, some souvenir plates. So can you like talk to us more about that order that came through and how that happened?
It was an incredible honor, but it was also one of the most stressful orders I've ever done. They gave me about a month of time in advance to create 125 plates for the first annual Taste of San Joaquin Gala dinner. And this is held at the county fairgrounds. But I needed to work really hard because pottery is not something you can rush. Everything that you make needs to dry very slowly, otherwise it can crack or warp. So I had to speed things up, you know, an incredible amount. And so I needed help from a lot of the guild members from the Potters Guild. I had to ask the ex-vice president for help for kiln space, Jackie, the current vice president, Dita, another guild member, and Keith. So I had 5 people helping me out with firings. Otherwise, I would not have been able to do this. But I have an example here. This is the little plate that they wanted. They wanted a SJ stamp in the middle, and I like to decorate it with the 2 little circles. And so this one was the first order that I ended up dipping the glazes instead of brushing them on. So as you can see, first I dipped this side with the blue, and then I dipped the white side, and then you can see the little overlap right here. But yeah, there's a little bit of a crackle there, so a little dimension there. But yeah, I was very proud of getting it done in such a short amount of time, and they were very happy with them, and they displayed them at the gala dinner. But yeah, it was a pretty big feat and a big undertaking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I met you, you guys were like halfway done with it, and you still had like, well, I think
Yeah.
what, like 2 weeks left or something, and I was
I had
like,
to throw
"What's?"
20 plates a day, and plates are not easy. If you're familiar with pottery, plates have a tendency to warp. So it was like I made 160 and only 120 made it. So we had like
Oh,
40 casualties. Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
What'd you do with the casualties too? Is there
I
like
have, well, this one's
recycling?
a casualty. If you look
Oh,
really close, there's a tiny little speck here. And that
oh,
is,
okay.
I'm a perfectionist. So I was like, this
Oh,
is a no.
okay.
And I also had a few other plates that cracked right in the middle where I stamped it. So yeah, there's a lot of things to think about. Oh, yeah. And if you see here too, there's a crack. So many different things can happen in the firings. You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of like you just see it after, right? It just goes, yeah. Well,
Yeah. If
well.
it goes well, it's
Yeah.
always a nice surprise. Yeah.
But in terms of like, are you able to like recycle them? Is there like something that
After
like,
they're fully
what do you do?
they're
Yeah.
not really recyclable. Some potters
Okay.
like to break them down and make like mosaic, tiles and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I haven't tried that yet, but the clay itself before it's fired is definitely recyclable. So if I see it warping already after I threw it, then I could just throw it out and
Mm.
recycle the clay. But once it's fired, there's nothing I can do. Yeah,
But that's cool that there's an option, right? You could probably like look
exactly.
into that so that way you could you could find ways to, do
Oh,
do
and I
something else with it.
recently saw another potter use the broken pieces, and he kind of grinded them up into very small, like a sand consistency, and then he made a glaze out of that. So there's a lot of
Oh.
experimentation that people like to do. I still haven't, gone down that path, but yeah.
Well, that would be really cool, right? It'd almost be like a tie-dye of sorts, right? I mean, depends how many
Yeah,
like colors you have there, and that would
there's a
that
lot
would
of
be
chemistry in pottery. Yeah.
yeah. I could see that. It seems like a interesting thing to try out.
Right.
Um, Now, in terms of your classes that you offer, like, are they only for beginners? Do you mix beginners advanced, or how does that work?
So I have 1 day workshops that are open to people of any skill level. I also have beginners courses, it's an 8-week course, and you do 4 weeks of throwing, 2 weeks of trimming, and 2 weeks of glazing. And then I also have an intermediate course as well. But yeah, in the intermediate course, the only difference is that you have access to different glazes and you are throwing harder forms. I have an example here, actually. Um, this one right here, I like to teach intermediate students to throw this particular shape. This is a stirrup vessel. This is what I was talking about. Stirrup vessels were made by the Moche tribe to store water and help evaporation. But I like this piece because it includes 3 parts: the sphere, the donut, and the spout. So these are 3 different shapes, and then we attach them together using hand building. So this is definitely a more advanced piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I could tell you how doing, especially so you do every component first, and then you like glue them together, right? I guess in
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in a way
We
to
meld them together with clay. Yeah.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I mean to get the consistency and get the
Definitely a
to
good
get
piece
looking.
to get all the difficult forms in one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, get him to actually like look right and all that. That's cool. Like, where do you get your inspiration for like all these pieces? I know that you said that like it's something that was used before, but do you have like a book that you reference, or like do you have like a
um,
website that you do research on? Or
Funnily enough, because I went to Peru when I was a kid every year, there's this thing called the Inca Marketplace, and there's like a bunch of them throughout Peru. And I always, every time I went there, I'd never leave that area because you'd see so many handicrafts. So definitely inspired by my childhood in Peru and the art that I saw in the marketplaces. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and bringing it back here, and as
Yeah,
I always say
exactly.
again, you bring back ideas, you have them here, and then people see them, and it's something cool. They don't have to go too far to see. I mean, they definitely should go over there, though. Like I always say with Mexico and all that, it's like you got to go
Right.
experience it.
Yeah.
So, because it's not the same thing, just like watching a video of anything that you're looking over there. It's like when you're over there, it's a whole different thing, or you get to like buy something and bring it back, and it's just a lot different. So,
Yeah.
um, cool. Well, I know on your website, people can actually purchase right some of the ceramics, jewelry, skin serum. So, can you
Yeah.
tell me more about just the offerings that you have on the website and how long you've been selling on your website?
Yeah, so I've been selling on my website for about 2 years now. As I said before, I started off with polymer clay. I don't really do too much polymer clay anymore, but I still do the pottery, and I try to do monthly drops. So I try to make them like themed. So last time my theme was the serpent theme. So I made a lot of mugs with serpent handles, which is really cool. Everybody liked those. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make more themes. I'm thinking, like for example, Earth Day too. I made an Earth Day mug right here, and I still have them on the website. But yeah, on the back it says "Respect Your Mother." But
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's really cool.
Yeah. And then also on my website, if you want to look at my most current inventory, definitely click latest release. I got a little bit technical issues going on there, but yeah.
Okay. I'm like, there's
Yeah, if you go back to the home page and then click latest release.
a homepage and then it's later. Oh, okay. Oh, there's
Yeah.
a button there. Cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff there. And I love doing the mushroom inspired stuff too, because I did spend a little bit of my time in Washington during COVID. I actually used to own an RV, and we traveled all the way to the Pacific Northwest, and we lived there for about 8 months in the RV. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there's
Hey,
a lot of
that's
fungi stuff. Yeah.
hey, that was the time to do that for sure.
Yes, I know. We were all isolated. Yeah. I didn't get COVID at all that time. Yeah.
And getting to be out in nature and all that. Yeah, that's wow. That was
Yeah. It was a good way to spend that time. Definitely.
and there's the ones that you were just
The
mentioning,
Earth
right?
Day mugs.
The
Yep.
Mother Earth ones too. That Mother Earth one. That's also a perfect gift for Mother's Day, I would say, right? I
Yes,
mean, it's like
exactly. I say the same
it's
thing.
kind of it's like dual purpose, which works out great. That's awesome. I'm glad that you like shared it there on the camera too. For people who are listening right now, I mean, we're looking at the website at pukaturis.com, and she has all the different mugs, tumblers that she offers there. If you want to look at the one that she just shared, and again watch the video recording of this podcast. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
everything's
awesome.
microwave dishwasher safe, so it's very sturdy. Yeah.
Now, if anyone has like a custom request or like they design something and they're like, oh, it'd be so cool to have this design on one. Do you
Yeah,
also like do that?
definitely. The custom work is my favorite. I love to make people smile and be happy with their special piece. But yeah, custom works, I get them all the time, and yeah, they're my favorite.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's really cool to be able to see something that you put on paper, or just something that you have already designed and
Yeah.
see it
If,
on there.
if anyone's interested in that, you could shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's really cool. I'm glad that you have all the made drops. Is it just like mugs and tumblers that you have on here, or?
And those are little chimeneas. Those are for incense. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, that
People
is
really
cool.
like chimeneas. Yeah.
Little chimeneas. Wow, that is it's really awesome. I like all just the different varieties of like mugs and tumblers and
Yeah.
that chimenea. Like
We have
it's
leftover from Halloween, so they're a little, discounted. Yeah.
well, hey, it's almost Halloween, right? So it's like
Right. Almost
hurry up, people!
around. Yeah.
Hurry up before it's full price again.
Right.
um, that's awesome. So like you tend to do like things for like seasonal as well. Like if there's a
Yes, I try
holiday,
my best.
you yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you're still like doing pop-ups as well, like not
Yes.
just like going on the website?
So my next pop-up will be at Quile Kilns in Murphy's, California. It's a ceramic studio that's been around for many years now. I think 50 years. I can double check here. Um,
That's cool. I mean, I was just at Murphy's
70
not too
years
long ago.
actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's on July 5th, 6th, and 7th. Yeah.
Oh, hey, right after 4th of July. Those are like perfect days
Right?
after to do that. Yeah, no, and Murphy's is a great place. Like I said, I was just there not too long ago, and it's just awesome that they have like a little small town vibe, and
Yeah.
everyone's really friendly, and it's a
Yeah.
great
I
place
love
to go
Quile
to.
Kilns. Quile Kilns is like, it's amazing. I call them like the elder potters because they've been around for years and they used to actually make their own clay. They recently stopped and slowed down because they were retiring, but they have made a big impact in the pottery community. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and they're so close to like a lot of like to the source, right? To the source of clay.
Exactly.
There's a
Yeah. They
lot.
actually sourced it right on their property too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Unlimited.
Right?
They have everything. Yeah, that's cool. Like for you, where do you like tend to source your clay? Do you like go to
Oh yeah.
like
So
places like that or?
that's a question. That's a big loaded question. So I work with
Mm,
stoneware, and
mm,
stoneware is it vitrifies after it's fully fired. So it's basically turns to glass. Vitrify means turn to glass. And usually, if you see like the Hispanic pottery, like at the Mexican stores,
mm.
that is earthenware. So it's not stoneware. It's a little more porous. Those
Oh,
pieces are able to be put on the stovetop, and they take heat very well. They're not as durable, but they're, I guess, more functional in a way. But yeah, so my clay you can't really source, in the earth. It's more like in caves and stuff like that. But yeah, earthenware, you can find plenty of it in all throughout Stockton. I actually have some clay in my backyard, so that earthenware clay is really easy to find. Yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
But my clay, I have to buy it from IMCO, Industrial Minerals Company in
Mhm.
Sacramento. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that there's two different ones. I mean, the Hispanic ones. Yeah,
Yeah, for
I've
different.
seen them multiple times.
Yeah, one's better for cooking, and then the other's better for like dinnerware and stuff. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the famous. There's a name for it. I just call it like the salsa like
Yeah.
cow, the rock salsa cow.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
where you
yeah.
make the salsa. I should probably know the name of it too. I'm like, how do I not know the name of it?
Yeah, like
Oh, Morcajente, actually,
yeah,
yeah.
the molcajete.
So
Yeah,
yeah, in the form of a cow, I think.
I
I
see.
think maybe it's a pig, but I think it's
Yeah.
but it's something that you see, right? When you go to a place, yeah, they have that, or like they'll have the one that doesn't have it's just round, right? And then people
Right.
make the salsas
Yeah.
there. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
The differences between that and that makes sense. Yeah, that it would take more heat and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, the earthenware is fired at a lower temperature, and that's why it's still porous, and you can use it for like cooking and stuff. But yeah, after stoneware is definitely like it's turned to glass, and you can tell it's much more durable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's so now the process of making it too, I'm sure like it takes longer, right? Because it's more durable. Like it's more of an extensive process.
Not too bad. I would just say they probably like sieve it a lot more and make it smoother. Earthenware usually has a lot of grog, which is like more sand, so it's a little bit rougher on the skin when you're using it. But yeah, stoneware, it's a little smoother, but it varies. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different now. All
Yeah.
right.
My little pup.
Guest appearance today. If you want to, like, if your pup
Yeah.
wants to make an appearance, we're on video as well, so people could
Boy, that
see
she's
the
not
pup. Oh, look.
getting attention. Yeah, she actually recently went through surgery and she's all better now. But
Oh,
yeah, she's doing so much better. I'm very happy because we were worried for a whole month there.
yeah. I'm glad. She's doing better. Yeah. My first ever dog appearance on the 29 Trinity podcast. Not even on the podcast form. I don't think I ever remember hearing a dog growl. Like I don't remember that.
Yeah,
So
or
or
cry.
cry either.
Right.
um, well, there you have it. All right. Well, one last thing here before I thank you here again for being on the podcast. People
Thank you.
want to register for like classes if they want to like follow you on social media, and if there's anything else you wanted to mention that you haven't mentioned yet, this is
We
your
covered
like
it. Yeah.
time to mention all that.
My Instagram is at puka.tutis, so Puka Tutis, and then my website is www.pukatutis.com. But yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, Puka. It's been really awesome. Like just hearing more about the story about how your business got started, and then just like different things that you've done. I'm glad that you had the different examples, and well, more the reason why like it's so great that I'm doing video as well now, so
Yeah.
people can see
I'm
that
excited
and not
to
just
see more of
hear.
your podcast. Yeah.
And hopefully, we can maybe get a live show scheduled, and if you want to actually show the process and all that,
Sure,
that
I
would
would.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be doing live shows here soon. I might even already have one scheduled by the time that this gets posted, so
Yeah. Let
that
me.
might already be.
Yeah.
But using this platform that we're recording this right now, I mean, they have the function to do live shows, so it would be cool to do some live shows, get people leaving comments and shout outs, and maybe
Right.
more questions that they have as well. So that'll be coming soon. So yeah, well, we can coordinate that, and we'll schedule something out so people can see the process and see
Awesome.
how it is, and also like if they're not already, which I think they should already be encouraged to like take a class
Yes.
after like
I think
hearing and seeing all the amazing things you could do.
yeah.
They'll be even more like encouraged to
Yeah,
go
working
and
with
take
clay
class.
definitely connects you back to Mother Earth, and we in times like these we need to slow down a little bit. Yeah.
We do, yeah. It's like everything seems like it's just so fast paced and all that, and it's like it's nice again to have people like yourself that are out there like encouraging people to get into the arts, to like put the phone aside,
Yeah,
focus on
exactly.
doing some arts, right? And and even I mean it's nice to do arts like on like tablets and like just computers and all that in general, but like there's nothing like being able to like actually do hands-on
Yeah,
art right on your own.
right.
not not like a machine kind of assisting you
Exactly.
with it, which is it's awesome and all right, but it's like it
Great
means so
tool.
much more when you could do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
um cool. All right, well, again, thank you so much, Fuka, for being on the podcast, and
For having me.
best
Yeah.
of luck with everything, yeah, with the classes, and then with everything that you have for sale as well.
Alrighty. Thank you.
And thank you, a lot again to the people who listen to the podcast, to the ones who also watch it on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're not watching podcasts on YouTube and Facebook, you're missing out because people are sharing things, and and you could hear it, and they could describe things, but it's just not the same as actually being able to watch it on video and all that. So if you haven't, go check it out at the 29 Journey on YouTube. Just search for it there, or on Facebook on the Facebook page as well. If you don't want to go on YouTube, I got you. Same video recording gets posted on Facebook. Also follow the podcast page on Facebook and Instagram at the 29 Journey, especially on the Instagram page. Like I said, I'm sharing a lot of more content on there, especially stories when people have something going on, especially the guests that I've had on. You'll see me share some of the things that they share and all that. So if you want to find out more about what my guests are up to, that's a place to go to. I'll be sharing the stories there. And then once in a while, also doing some live Instagrams as well, especially if I'm out at an event and I want to share that. Or maybe I'm out at a guest business and all that. I'll definitely do a live on Instagram there too. So hope everyone has a good morning or good night whenever you're listening to this. And you'll hear me next week here on the 29 Journey podcast.